Oh, yeah. We're live, by the way. Hello, everyone.
Buongiorno.
Where is the music, my friend?
Last one of the week. Enjoy it, guys. Have a little dance.
I think in 2022 we should change the song. This is a 2021 song.
I can't hear you when you speak.
Oh, that's fine. There's Mr. Brown's here as well.
Cheers.
Beautiful.
Mate, so some good news. I saw today season 5 of Money Heist is coming out.
Oh, really? When is it coming out?
Finally.
When?
And I'm not sure yet. I didn't want to read it because unless it's ready to watch, I'm like, it'll probably be like another 6 months or something. Although they were saying that Berlin might be making a comeback, but I thought he died.
Well, he did die.
Well, what, are they going to raise him from the dead or something?
Who knows, mate? Who knows?
Here's what's going to happen. Ben Brown, I love it. Love the honesty, mate. I get up and dance every time I hear this. Now that I would pay good money for.
Yeah.
A, because I still don't know what you look like. And B, I want to see if you can dance. Yeah, so anyway, in our little tea break, yeah, Money Heist, season 5. Berlin's making a comeback, apparently.
Well, I've been telling Ben to watch Money Heist for how long, mate? And what is he watching instead? Go on, Ben.
Wait, give me 3 choices. I'm going to try and guess. Give me 3 choices
right.
what it could be. And anybody else that wants to play as well, you can just put it in the comment section.
Yeah, okay. So let me think of 3 choices.
No pressure, mate, but you got 10 seconds left of the song, so.
Oh, mate, forget it. I don't remember TV. Actually, Ben can give us 3 choices.
But that is the point, my friend, of the music, to get us in a good mood. Forget about all the stresses and strains of everyday life. Oh. Just enjoying my mushroom tea. Don't worry about me, guys. You carry on.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get some housekeeping. Daryl's in the house. Kardashians. That's Ben's program, isn't it?
I don't know, mate. It's worse than that, I think.
Worse than Kardashians. Does anybody know a TV show worse than Kardashians that's addictive enough that he won't ever watch? Okay. So Ben's actually said it. This is good.
He sent us.
I know.
It's one of those 3.
Okay. So the 3 shows, one of them's truth and 2 are a lie, right? And we've got to guess which one it is. So he hasn't watched Money Heist because he watches
one of these 3. Yeah, one of these 3 has taken precedent over Money Heist.
Wow. Ben, are you 64? Ben, are you 64 in disguise? Wow. Okay. Do you know what? It's the one that just came with me. I'm going to go with Come Dine With Me. And I'll tell you the reason why. I don't think he's that far under the thumb that he's going to be made to watch 90 Day Fiancé. I really hope he's not that far under the Tom thumb that he's going to be. That's the one that's railroading him. I don't believe it's EastEnders. But Come Dine With Me is my choice. Julie is going for EastEnders. Controversial, Julie. Is that because you're partial to a bit of Pet Mitchell Brothers? They haven't been in it for about 15 years. And I don't know why the Mitchell Brothers and my impression of Pat Butcher all sound the same, but there we go. Apologies. So put us out of our misery then. What is it?
Do you want me to say?
Yeah. Spill the beans.
It's that, mate. Mr. Kevin is correct. That is what he actually admitted that to me.
Why?
Why have you not watched Money Heist yet? And he said to me, I'm just watching 90 Day Fiancé at the moment.
Wow. Wow. Kevin, get in, my friend. Get in. Julie, that sums it up perfectly. Wow.
There you go.
That's unbelievable. Dan Tyler in the house as well. Gav, do an Australian Phil Mitchell. It's not going to work, is it? I can do Pat Butcher and Phil Mitchell. They all sound the same, mate. Now get down the pub. What was the pub called on EastEnders? The Queen's Head? Wasn't it the Queen's Head? What did you say?
I said, Ben, can you let us know?
He's too busy. I'm surprised that he's even watching this. So again, let's get some housekeeping out of the way. So if you're new, we've got 28 viewers in the house right now. Great to have you with us live. We know there's a lot of people that can't make it live. So they're going to watch the replay on demand in their own time. So hi guys to you as well. We love you too. Thank you very much for rewatching. Facebook shows us the stats and it's great to see how many people are joining in. If you are new, please register with the StreamYard link so that we can see a pretty picture like Dan and see your name. And then obviously we can identify that to the comment. So with that being said, our top 2 comments for the first, our little competition that we do every show. Who's the first one to get a comment in? Dominicus was second. Guess who was first, mate?
Slavomir. There you go.
It's getting boring now, isn't it? If you know who's going to win.
There's a lot of pressure on Slavomir now.
He's handling it, mate. I've been trying to just get into his head rent free.
There could be a time where he's super busy. He may need to go to the doctor or something, and he may just prioritize this.
Hey, mate,
not to lose.
I can tell you now, if he's in an ambulance going to an ER, God forbid, I'm not wishing that on you, but he'd be like, no, stop it. It's 1 minute to 12. I've got to get my comment in. Doctors, save the cardiac arrest machine. I've just got to send a text.
That is dedication, mate.
I applaud that. I applaud that, Slavomir. That is dedication. So look, let's crack on. I'm glad Slavomir is seeing the funny side of that. Oops, Frosty's in there as well. Slavomir must log in. Slavomir sees the funny side of that. That's why we love this group. We take the mickey out of ourselves. We take the mickey out of you lot as well. That's how we go. That's how we roll here. Slavomir's actually going to the doctor on Thursday. Sorry to hear that,
it's like I knew.
It is. That's like, look, that's your ability in the markets, and we'll get to that. But I don't believe that you can do it just in everyday life. I even said that in the video that I shot for the tease for the show. You're not Mystic Meg.
Well, we'll see.
Come on. Okay, right. Let's do a little thing. Okay, I'm only going to use one hand, so this is easy. So you've got a 20% chance, and I'm going to show how many fingers have I got up?
4. 2, and the other 2. The other hand, 2.
0. Nice try, mate. Nice try. So look, let's crack on with the show. Because we've got 32 people in the house now, which is great. That's a good number. So we will crack on. Good luck with the doctors. Hope nothing is too serious. And Ben, thank you for being the professional one after being ridiculed. Hi to all watching on YouTube. Ben's got 2 screens, obviously, he's showing off now. So he's watching us on Facebook and on YouTube. That is how we roll. And let's just put a little compliment in there for you. Tony, Andy, haircut looks cool, bro.
Rocky, thank you, my man. It's Rocky.
It does. I said that. It looks good, mate. You look. It's been a while since you've looked that sharp. So, with that being said, you've got a sharp look and you've got some sharp content. Let's talk Bitcoin. What's going on with that beast? And I know you put a post in the group yesterday. How's it fared out since the post that you put in there?
It's just coming up to that sort of zone at the moment. And actually, I was actually thinking to on the trade setup today to actually go through Bitcoin, because I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at that also as a driver for the rest of the market. Because as you guys know, at the moment, Bitcoin is driving the market, so I'm using it as a gauge, like even for my other coins. I mean, if we do go through that chart, unless people have a different request, but I'd be happy to go through Bitcoin. I think, ultimately, I think we're going to go higher, but it's a question of like, are we ready to go higher now? I just got this sneaky feeling that we're going to have another drop, and then rally. But we will let the market dictate. And this is the thing as well. I think we have to let the market show us, but we make a plan. And my plan at the moment is to buy on another dip, so another low. And if I go through the chart, you'll see why I'm looking at that. But it's actually bounced really, really nicely. But the signs are that this is just a dead cat bounce before another potential push lower. I could be wrong. It's possible. I mean, last time we were on, I was talking about a deeper correction which happened. I was talking about VeChain going down to that 15-cent mark, which it did. I did pick some up there. It's had a nice little bounce, but even that, if Bitcoin drops, you have to think, is the market going to hold? I mean, I know we're talking about altcoins season at the moment where altcoins outperform Bitcoin. So it's possible that they hold, but what's been happening at the moment is not the case. It's like Bitcoin moves up and everything else moves up with it. Bitcoin moves down and everything else moves down with it. So I'm keeping a very, very close eye on Bitcoin, even if I'm not involved in it, even if I'm not trading it. I think you have to understand what's going on with that in order to trade any other coins. So I'm being a little bit cautious. I haven't built up my full stack. I've still got a lot of cash because I'm just cautious of another fall. So I want to make sure that I'm prepared to be able to buy if we have that fall. The reality is, even if I bought here, my full stack, and it drops, ultimately if it goes high, you're still going to make money. But it's just then you've got to sit through that drawdown, the emotions of that, and also it means you're not going to make as much because you haven't bought at the optimal price. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. I'm thinking Bitcoin really is at key level now, around this sort of 55, 56,000. I think is an important zone to determine whether we have another push lower. And I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on it at the moment.
It's funny because you can pretty much bet your house that at some point we'll be looking back on this conversation going, see, look what happened. I remember the last time Bitcoin had a bit of a wobble, and I was looking at Binance Coin and it was at $234, and then it shot up to like 498, past $500.
Yeah,
within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we were on a show, if you remember. What was the show? Yeah, we were doing one of these shows, and I even recently, right, if you remember, and I was buying it at 300. Like I was already in it from before, and then I came out and it just consolidated, and then I was buying it at 300. I ended up buying it at 285, and literally that's the moment it just doubled very quickly. So it's really important to your timing. Timing is so important in these markets. It's so important. And like if you've got a coin that's been kind of consolidating for a little while, and it's a coin that you believe in, and it's been going sideways. Look, the thing is that at some point, if you've moved your money out of it, you have to get back in at some point. Like obviously, you can try and predict when it's going to go. So I thought it was Binance Coin was going to go at that time because I saw a nice price action, good volume, but I could have been wrong. It could have just stayed in the consolidation. But at some point, you need to get back in because once it pumps, it's really hard then to sort of buy it when you're looking at it like, okay, it was at 300. Now, half an hour later, it's at 400. So what do you do? And then you have that dilemma. So it's a tricky balancing act. And Ripple's a good example. Again, I bought that at 50 cents and it stayed there for ages. And eventually it went. But if I got in once it was going, it would have been, again, yes, it went higher, but it would have been a bit tricky. Like you're like, okay, well, it's just doubled. Do I just buy it? So you have those kind of dilemmas. You'd rather accumulate when the markets are quiet, especially they've sat there for a little while and you believe in that coin. You're better to then start. Now you're like, okay, well, this has done this for 1 month. 1 month is a good indication, by the way. 1 month of sideways, that's a lot of energy building up. So you could start to buy some of that coin. And then if it's a good cryptocurrency and it's a good project, it will go, and you won't realize when it's going to go. You have to just sit through the doing nothing.
And that's a very good point, because that, with all due respect, that's at your level, and you've done 17, 18 years to get to this. There's people that I'm going to be closer to a level of, and sometimes fear gets in your head, or not even fear, just the indecision of, I know it's going to happen, but I'm just not sure when to get in. And then it comes down a bit, and then it's just like, before you know it, it's just ripped and it's gone. And that's happened to me many a time, many a time. But we're all on our own individual journey. We all live and we learn through cryptos, and it is a bit of a spaceship, but it's a very, very exciting ride. So we've had a comment in from Facebook user. Please register on the StreamYard link so that we can see your name and your picture. Do you think another fall below the last low? It's a good question. I'm presuming and assuming that that's going to be based on Bitcoin, which Andy's actually going to do as his pro setup of the week a little bit later on in the show. So we'll park that question for now. One thing that I wanted to ask you, mate, was, so imagine you'd lost all the money that you made. So you've made, turned 30 grand into over 180 grand. So you sixed extra account in like 3 and a bit months. Imagine that you were starting again from scratch. Just give us a bit of an insight into what, if you're new today, right here, right now, the markets are like they are. No one has a Scooby-Doo. What's going to happen? It may go down before it goes up. What would be some of the first things that you start to implement?
I'll do exactly the same thing. So just with starting again with smaller numbers, like now, I would say I'm adjusting what I'm doing a bit, because my account's grown and it's grown more than the 180 that originally after the 3 months. So I'm doing things slightly differently. But if I was starting again with 30K, then I would be looking to kind of break up the portfolio into sort of 3 sections: spot, margin, and futures. Futures being really the smallest percentage. So I would have, for example, probably something like 5K in futures and 10K in spot max, and then 15K in margin, probably.
Okay. So that's a 50, 30, 15 approximately.
Approximately, yeah.
So 50 in margin, 30 in spot, and then the remainder in, or maybe 55 in margin.
Something, yeah. 33% would be spot, I guess, in that example.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much about right. Now, what I would do with the with spot is like having money in the bank, but just earning a lot more interest. So the likelihood is that you can get paid dividends on your spot. You can obviously have the capital growth, and it will be projects that I think will have a lasting impact, and it's something that I would want to hold for quite a long time. So it's just like a part of the portfolio that I don't touch. And even to this day, from the time I've started, I haven't touched my spot. It's pretty much as it was from the outset. So the spot, yeah.
Just a random question. What about your Dogecoin? What happened with that? Have you touched that? Those extra coins that you think you may have found?
Well, no. So I had some in my Bittrex account.
Yeah.
Which, as I said, I sold because when I bought Dogecoin and I bought others, I was kind of doing it almost just didn't really think much of it at the time. It was like 3 years ago. And, when it kind of pumped, I realized that Dogecoin was a nothing coin, essentially. So I thought, well, there's a good chance that this will just go back to where it came from, which is what happens a lot of the time. A lot of the sort of like you get pumped and then it just goes back when people realize actually this is just a fake. There's nothing to this cryptocurrency. So I kind of took that approach and I thought, well, I sold it at like 7 cents, which obviously doesn't look smart right now, but it's just one of those things that you just think, well, I'm going to sell it because I can use those dollars to go and buy something else. But I do, as you said, I do have potentially 30,000 of them from my Cryptopia that I wasn't able to access, and I still can't access because the liquidation is still going on. But if that gets sorted, then essentially, I still own 30,000 Dogecoin. And I've got some others in that portfolio as well that, again, at the time were nothing, but now they've actually gone up quite a bit. So there must be quite a few $1,000s worth if I get them back.
So just a little side note, because obviously on last week's show you said about that. Yeah, I may have an extra 30,000 Dogecoins stashed away somewhere. So we'll keep asking about that until maybe you cash it in for Christmas, and then I'll come back for the Christmas party.
Yeah, exactly.
Sponsored by Dogecoin. That'll be pretty good. So look, we kind of digressed. So let's go back to that. So 55% margin, 30% spot, about 15% futures. What else would you do if you were just getting back in, or you were just starting where you are today?
So kind of using that ratio, I would have, the way I would kind of split that is, like I said, that the spot would be the lifers, the futures would be for day trading, and then the margin would be, for currencies that I believe in, but I would be kind of using leverage for those. So I would be looking to sort of do exactly what I'm doing now, which is like portfolio management. So I keep a sheet of all of my trades, all of my holdings, and sort of like mini targets for them. So that, for example, if a cryptocurrency, so like the spot, I won't touch it, right? Doesn't matter what's happening around me. That's just literally there. No matter what happens, that is there. Some of it's stayed, some of it's not, but it's just there and it's just not going to be touched. With the margin stuff, I will manage it. So, for example, let's take a simple cryptocurrency like Ethereum. Let's say my target for that one is 35,000, right? So I believe it's going to get to 35,000 based on my predictions. So I think, but it's going to do it in stages. It's not going to do it in one swoop. So if I'm margin trading that, as opposed to just buying only spot, well, I'm going to do it in stages. So like, it might be a case of like, okay, on my sheet, I'll put, right, when it hits 5,000, like take 75% off and then look to buy it back again on a drop. If it gets to 10,000, take 80% off and then look to buy it back on a drop. So I will have like these kind of rules where, at key points, and obviously that will change because of what's going on in the market. So if the market is turning and Bitcoin is now dropping and the market's correcting and we're in a bear market, then again, I will take action. So I would be looking to basically exit all my margin and sit in cash and then watch and see what happens. But the spot, I would just keep it because I think you have to have something in the market. And if you're staking your coins anyway, you're earning more coins so you're earning interest. And if you're going to hold it for the next 4 or 5 years, it doesn't really matter. The truth is like if it was a real bear market and you have a massive correction, I'll just buy more. I'll just buy more. And if I'm shorting the market, so if we have a bear market, I'll be short. I'll be making money on the downside, building up my cash, and then using it to buy more coins. So yesterday I posted a trade on Ripple. I'm bullish on Ripple. Like I think that it's got much more upside. But if I see an opportunity to make money on the downside, I'll short it. I'll make my money and then come out. So again, it's like just looking at opportunities, whether it's long or short, whatever it is, build up your cash and then go and buy assets, go and buy the currencies that you want. So you need to build up that cash flow without necessarily you putting in more money, because it's really easy to keep, putting more and more money into your account. But you have to be careful with that, because you don't want to kind of put everything you own into this and then it goes wrong. So that's kind of why I took the approach of, look, do you know what? I'm just going to put 30K in. I mean, I could have put a lot more in, but I was just kind of like, let me see what I can do with 30K. And sometimes just having that challenge, it was quite good for me. Like I just set I set myself a personal challenge to try and get it to 100K in 3 months. And obviously I did better than that. And now I've got another challenge, which I'm going to keep to myself. But one or two people might know, but I've got another challenge where I want this account to be by the end of the year. But that's just for me personally. That's just for me to sort of like have something to aim for, have a goal. So I like to look at trading as a game, where I'm doing my job, I'm active, and I'm looking for opportunities where I feel, I've got the most potential for growth. So, and that's why I think like it's important that you have a good mixture. It's a good mixture. Julie, I'm not telling you. I don't want you to come back to me and say, hey, Andy, let me see your account now. So look, it's, I think you have to, the other thing as well is, as you were saying, what would I be doing? So it's also important to think about what type of coins you want to have. Like, if you go for low market cap coins, you've got the potential to hit 100xer in there. That can really grow your account. But obviously the risk with that is a lot higher. So I think it's a combination. I think the thing is, like when I started, I was buying Cardano for like 20 cents. I was buying Icon for about 60 cents. I was buying VeChain for like 3 cents. These coins are no longer there and their market cap has gone up. So if I'm going to get started now and I want to grow, if I had a target to 6x, that's what I needed to do, if I had to do that, because I didn't have that goal at first, it just happened. But if I had to do that, then I definitely would look outside the box and think, okay, what currencies, what coins are good value, good project, and have got a 10x in them potentially, because I need to grow it a little bit faster. Or if I'm going to go with the stable coins, I'm going to really use my technical analysis skills to time the market as good as I can, and then I'm going to margin it so that I can grow it again that way. So yeah, that's kind of like really the main principles really.
Interesting. A new user, a new name. Great to have you with us. Thanks for your comment. Hi, is it cool to invest in Dogecoin now? I'm rubbish with names, but I'm gonna try it. Ehison. Huh? That's got to be like a 6 out of 10.
He's going to be nice to you, isn't he? He's going to say, yeah, it's perfect.
Andy, you're way better with names. I think you should give it a go. The full name.
Ehison Edokpai.
Very good, sir.
That yes is for me, by the way.
No, it's not true.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is.
So if you got any questions, we'll take some questions now.
Somebody, I can't remember who it was. Tina yesterday, I think, asked the question as well, which I'll answer after this, which was about are cryptocurrencies risky? Is that what the question was? Do you remember it?
Yes.
I believe.
If you're watching, put your question back in, because I'll be honest, I've forgotten it.
Yeah, it was something along those lines.
Are crypto coins risky right now?
Something. So let me answer the first question about Dogecoin. Put it this way. I just don't. I mean, it will probably go up. Just because the world is crazy, but if there's demand for something, then it will probably go up, and it wouldn't surprise me if it hits $1. Would I invest in it? No, I wouldn't personally, but that doesn't mean it's not going to go up, because I can't put my money on something that I just don't have any kind of understanding of, like, where this could even fit in the world. So that's kind of my problem with it. So when I invest in something or trade something, I need to kind of understand that actually there's something serious going on here. There's a serious project, like that it could make a difference, because like if the market starts to go down against you, you're going to panic if you don't believe in that project. And that's the biggest thing. So for me, I understand everything that I hold. I have at least a base level understanding of what they're trying to achieve. Now, as you guys might know, when you review some of the white papers and some of the things that you read online, it's very, very techy. And some of it goes way over my head. I'm not going to lie. But the most important thing is like, okay, where can this fit in? What is it trying to solve? Is there anyone else doing this? And why these guys may be better or at least as good? Is there value in this particular coin compared to its competitor? And once you've kind of done that assessment, then you decide, look, do I want to invest in something? And so at this stage, and it may be something that I don't know about, I don't see what the value is of Dogecoin, and that's why I wouldn't personally invest. But having said that, it wouldn't surprise me if it hits $1 at all. It wouldn't be like, wow, I'm shocked. So that's kind of like really, I don't know.
A quick question. I remember when you first introduced me to cryptos, and I was shocked at the different sectors. So there was like, maybe at the time there was about 8 or 9 different subsections within cryptos. And now there's probably about 12 or 15. But what's your favorite one right now? For me, I think NFTs are exciting, but I don't think you can get past decentralized finance. I still think that.
Definitely decentralized finance, because that's the new world. Yes. So that's where the value is, and that's something that, if we're saying that this is how we're going to be doing money going forward, then DeFi is the biggest sector, which will see the most growth. So that's to be quite honest with you, my biggest holdings are in that section. The ones that are in spot are in that sector. So because what seems like a lot of money right now, some of the coins, when you look at the price, Bitcoin seemed expensive at 3,000 to a lot of people, right? Even 10,000, it seemed really expensive to a lot of people, including me, probably, if I'm being honest. So sometimes when you look at price and you think, oh, wow, it's like 400 or 500 or 600 for some of these cryptocurrencies, how far is it going to go? Well, just take Bitcoin as the example, and don't worry about what the price is. Look at the value it's going to bring, where it ranks on coin market cap. You know, where is it in the rankings? Like, if you're in the top 10, yes, you can grow still. You're stable, you're safe, but the growth is going to be less, like, potentially, than something that's outside the top 100, for example, or between the 150th area. So if you want kind of value but safe, you probably want to look between sort of 50 and 100 in the coin market cap category, like ranking. And that will give you some coins that are stable enough but have a lot of room for growth. And that's kind of like a good balance for those that want to be like in the middle in terms of their risk appetite. If you want something high growth, you look outside of that, but then, you know, those cryptos may not make it. So you don't want to invest too much money in those. You could put a small amount of money.
And then think back when it rips. I should have put more money in Dogecoin.
No, I really don't feel like that at all. I don't feel any regret whatsoever. Like some cryptos, if there's a project that I really believe in and I'm not in it, then I'd be kicking myself. I really would be. I'd be like, what? Why did I? How am I not in that? Like, it's stupid that I missed it. But if it's something that really I wouldn't have wanted to be in it, it doesn't matter what the price is. Like, you know, in hindsight, you could be saying, why didn't I buy Apple when it was just starting, right? But like, just wasn't in that position. But the point is like, it's, you know, if you kind of just judge it on where the price is and where it started and like whether you're in it or not, it really doesn't, not even a single bit. I don't regret selling it, because it just wasn't something I wanted. I don't even trust it now. So I'd be sitting in it thinking, when's it going to go down? That's it.
We are truly in unprecedented times. The world is pretty crazy around us, but we've never been this far before, where there's a massive transition happening now of money being moved from one form to another. It's happening right in front of our eyes. And, you know, just by you guys watching this show, you're kind of like part of the 2%, the pioneers. There's only 2% of the population that are even talking about this. But like at the front of the plane, when you go on a long haul flight on holiday, that's the bumpiest part. Actually, no, the back of the plane is the bumpiest part of turbulence, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So therefore, we're at the back of the plane. That was one of my analogies that didn't quite work. But you get my point, is that when you're a pioneer, it gets a little bit bumpy when you're ahead of the pack, which is why what Andy says is so true. Pick a project that is right for you. What do you believe in? What's the potential that it's got to grow? And that's massive. And we had a question in earlier from Kevin. If I wanted to get in today, do you have any thoughts on which coin will be worth looking at for spot? So he's answered that question, but just not in the most direct way for you. So I would say, and I don't know what you're going to say on this, Andy, but I would say, well, what three are you looking at, Kevin? And maybe we can have a discussion on those, because rather than to just take someone's advice as gospel, what is it that you're feeling a resonance with? What is it that are the fundamentals, the technicals, and the actual overall project, the potential for market cap to 10x, 20x, 5x? What's your risk appetite for all of that? So I would kind of put it back to you, but obviously I'm not the man that you want to hear the answer from. That's this guy. So what would you say, Mr.
Yeah,
Demi?
no, I mean, the thing is like, it's not just a simple, like, which ones, like, should you buy now? Because it's also like making sure you buy something at the right price. So, you know, like if you kind of go into the DeFi category, you'll find lots of potentials there. You know, there's ones that, I mean, if there's anything at the moment, I'm not really looking at anything at the moment in spot that I don't hold already. But one of my one of my, I'll give you one coin that I think is going to continue to go higher, and that is Compound. I mean, I've been buying that from about 300 and something dollars. It's now at 671. It's up quite a bit. I mean, not today, but over the last sort of couple of weeks. But ideally, you want to get in on something like that at a good price, because, yeah, I mean, it's probably going to go much higher than where we are now. So you can just buy it, but it means you're going to buy less if you don't get the right price. And if Bitcoin does correct, then most of these are going to be on sale. So it means that you can start to pick things up as they go down. So you can kind of start planning and finding your buy prices. And just going back to the question that was asked yesterday, you know, I don't know if we got the right question, but is cryptocurrencies, are they risky? You know, look, anything that's new, it has a degree of risk, which is why, you know, if I'm being transparent, I didn't put more than 30K in. Now, would I say, you know, I mean, I would tell anybody to invest in cryptocurrencies, like my family, my friends, and yeah, I feel it's becoming more and more mainstream, more and more accepted. Yes, there are things like hacks that you have to be careful of, but there are things that protection that you can take. You can store your coins on a Ledger Nano. You can buy security, extra security things, so that, you know, you're safer. So there's a lot of things that you can do to protect yourself anyway. So I don't think there's any risk of cryptocurrencies disappearing. I'd say the risk of that is very small now. Even if you start to read stuff online, I really don't. I think that's scaremongering, and I wouldn't take too much note of that.
Agreed. And a few people are saying in here, and a lot of people in general, they get confused with margin trading. Janice says in the comments that it's very confusing, and Frosty's asking about an update for margin trading. That extra videos will be put into the program, because we know it's still a little bit confusing for some people, especially if you're brand new. So that is going to be updated very soon and added into the program. Now, question in from Adrian, and he is taking on the age-old rule, which is if you put your question in bold capitals, it's guaranteed to get answered. Andy, please comment on mining crypto, please.
He's shouting at me, mate. I'm a little bit taken aback.
So the last bit of the question he's not so bothered about. So just the first bit. Please comment on mining crypto, please.
Well, since he's shouting and very aggressive at me, I'll have to answer it now.
In his Phil Mitchell accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Polish Phil. He's the Polish Phil Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, mining cryptos can be profitable. You know, it's something that I've done in the past, but you have to just kind of look at it and decide if you want to actually, you know, because the thing is, like, when you set up a rig at home, you have to set up something independent really of your PC, because if you're trading with your PC, it literally takes up all your resources. And yeah, it can be profitable. I mean, if you invest in if you're mining a crypto that you think is going to go up, then, you know, then it can definitely be profitable. But I'm not really I'm not doing it anymore, to be honest, because I feel like I can make more money just by focusing on trading. And thing is, with mining, you have to make sure you're on top of it. It's running continuously. You know, if you don't, you have to have a separate space really for it. Otherwise, like, it will literally be like, you know, you have to keep it cool, all these other things, like, you know. So yes, there are pros to it. You've got to you have to do your cost analysis. You've got to factor in how much it's going to cost you to buy. all the graphics cards, and then how much electricity it's going to cost you, and then how long it's going to take before you've mined enough to break even and then start to be profitable. So, if you're interested in it and you're quite, and you're quite technical, it's definitely, it's good fun to set one up. It's not that hard, to be honest. You buy a machine, you connect some graphics cards to it, and you start mining. It's not that difficult.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the whole reason why staking was created?
Yeah,
to get away from the mining.
Well, staking is more about, like, when you're staking something, it means somebody else is able to use your coin. So it's slightly different, but yes, you earn money, you earn coins from staking. Mining is different, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. It kind of does the same thing in the end, in a different way. But yeah, whether you have the time and the energy to set one up and want to run it, I guess do the numbers first. Work out your graphics cards, how many coins you can mine with it, where you think the price is going to be, and so on. Because the thing is, it's not stable, because those things change over time. So the more popular something becomes, then it becomes more expensive to mine. So there's all these other things that you need to bear in mind. So it's not going to be like, your numbers aren't always going to be the same throughout.
Awesome. So look, let's get into the pro trade setup of the week.
Yeah.
As we do that, got a comment. I'll just read this comment out from Tony. I believe in crypto, guys, as my account is heading towards 4,000 from 500. That's good. Tony is one of our students, so we're a little bit biased, but that is a really good return in just a few months. Not even a few months. February.
That's amazing, Tony.
Well done, Tony. Great job, my friend. Adrian's calmed down now. Okay, thank you with small letters.
Yeah. Okay. Let's so unless there's anybody that wants to do something different, I mean, I can take a look at Bitcoin, but I'm happy to take a request as well. So what do you want to do?
Let's do Bitcoin.
Okay, let's do Bitcoin.
I think this is a pivotal time for Bitcoin and everything. Even if we're in our altcoin season or not, everything's going to be pivotal around Bitcoin, right? At the moment, that seems to be the feeling.
Yeah. Well, that's what's been happening so far. So here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm just going to start hold on, something.
If you're wondering who that hunky man is in the bottom screen, it's not an advert for a personal trainer. That was Andy before the gyms got closed down in London.
Yeah, exactly. Right, let us BTC USDT. Hold on, guys. So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of what I've spotted on this miss. Come on. Hang on. Okay, so just going to bring up the daily chart, and I'm going to get rid of some things here. So let's start with remove drawings. Okay, so this is what it looks like at the moment. So just the kind of little things that you should try and spot in the market. So, if you kind of look at what this market's been doing, so if you notice, right, when the market's kind of really moving, in a sort of strong trend. It's moving up, consolidating, nice push up, retracement, and then see what's happening here. See how the swings are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, almost like that kind of like that sort of almost like a wedgie kind of pattern like that, which is quite bearish, right? And then the market basically is likely to fall, which it did. Now, what's happened then is that the market has basically taken out a low point for the first time. So it's now, you know, low point, high point, low point, high point, low point. This one actually here was a lower high, and then we've made a high, but now with a decent move. If you look at the retracements in general, one thing that I've noticed is, you know, this is like a little bit further than the other retracements, and also a little bit more aggressive. Like this one was a little bit aggressive, this one was not, but this is like, it looks like a push down, but it has responded. You know, we have had a nice push up here, so we're just kind of waiting to see what happens here. Now, if I just remove these drawings for a second, I'm going to put in something that I spotted that's quite interesting, and I'll show you guys. Hold on. And we can use this to really help us. So what I spotted when I was looking at this the other day is that this market has been holding the 50-day moving average really, really well. Can everyone see that? So you can see here, like, you know, we had to go back to sort of October 2020 before we were below it. And look, perfect support, support. This one got close, support. And then look what's happened. And look where we are right now. So right now, the 50-day moving average before was acting as support. And right now, it could be acting as resistance. And that's kind of like what I want to keep my eye on. So it's a really, really critical point right now. Are we going to close above the 50 again? Or are we going to hold here and then potentially maybe go down to the 200, which I'm going to add in just a moment. But if you kind of take a look at the last low here, it's also right there. So the last low point was there. We're on that point there. So are we going to spike here and push lower? Or are we going to push through this area? And if we do, we might say, well, okay, maybe one or two things is happening. Maybe this is ready to resume up, or maybe, right, maybe this is just a range, and we'll try and figure out where that range is. Maybe it's like a, you know, so we have to let the market show us, right? So maybe it could be like, I don't know, a range. That's, well, that doesn't really work, but hold on. Let me sort of see if it could be that if we close up higher. So you could sort of find a bit, so look at that, resistance, support, support. We could kind of even use this line and say bang, right? So maybe this is what we're doing now. Maybe we're just moving in this channel, right? So what happens here is going to be important. So for me, if we close above here, then, you know, you might be kind of looking at this here now as an area of support, which could push the market up here, right? But right now, I'm kind of looking for a rejection in this area. So that means then we could push a little bit lower. So if I just kind of bring in another, I'll bring in the 200 here as well. And if I zoom out, So there's the 200. Okay. Now the 200 also, what I like about the 200 is that we also have this old resistance very nearby, which happens to be around that 40,000 area. I don't know about a long-term trend line. Let me have a little look here as well. It's hard to do on these. Hold on. Let's see if we then connect this point with this point, if there's anything there or there. Okay. Okay, that might be a little bit far out. And I think this trend line here has probably been held. Yeah, we just, that's an interesting one. Again, it'd be interesting to see if we high test here and close below here, but I'll just kind of take that out for now. So again, like if I'm looking for value, then I'd rather this is kind of doing like an A, B, C, D down, in which case we can also bring in our fibs and go A, B, C. So we've got our A, our B. We've pulled back into the 50, okay, to create a possible C there. And then a possible D could be there, right at the 1618, which is around there. So if this happens, if this scenario happens, guys, this is going to be an absolutely amazing buying opportunity, in my opinion. If it doesn't, then we'll just kind of literally assess what's going on here. So I think the value, like if you want to be long Bitcoin and you're not long Bitcoin, if you were lucky enough to see a drop, this would be my zone right there. This would be the zone where I'd be really marking down, setting alerts and getting excited to buy between 40,000 and 35,000. So yeah, that's kind of really the general plan. And like I said, I mean, we'll let the market dictate that. You know, we can't make the market do it's going to do whatever it's going to do, but that's what the analysis is telling me right now. And this is a really nice confluence zone, old resistance, trend line around the 200 moving average and the fib extension as a buy zone.
Mate, you haven't done one of them for a while. I think that's worthy of a mic drop. So there we go. Boom. That was more like a Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
What is it? You know, when he goes down on the rope to kind of get over the bank thing to rob it. What was that? What's that called? A zip line thing. Anyway, that's what you did. That was awesome. As promised, that is what a professional trade breakdown looks like. A professional trade setup looks like. Even with an entry point as well. I'm getting quite excited thinking about that, because if you think back to last week when you were like, VeChain, could it go from, I think it was 24 down to like 15 cents that you said? And you're like, well, I'm not sure, but if it does, this would make sense. And look what's happened to the market. Now, if Bitcoin goes down to like that 35,000, you better be prepared to hold on to your horses, because it's going to get a little bit squeaky bum time, isn't it, if that happens?
Yeah, all your holdings are going to probably take a big...
That is going to be a little bit squeaky bum time. But look, if this is something that excites you, you want to learn how to position yourself in this, then we've got some great news for you, because, drum roll, we're doing another masterclass. Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. You are cordially invited to spend the evening, well, 90 minutes with us. And it's going to be just that sort of stuff. So we're going to give you some more information. We're going to be giving you some breakdowns, explaining what Andy has in his toolbox, because if you think that's good, that's literally probably about, what, 10% of it?
Yeah, maybe 1%.
1%. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a little bit cocky, but okay. He wants to go with 1%.
No, it's not cocky.
He's just dropped the mic. That's fine.
Question.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So if you want to know,
it was 18 years, mate, and that was 10 minutes. So that's how the percentages worked.
If you want to know the other 99% of what's in his toolbox, Come along for free. There's no making you buy anything. We will be offering you to join the program and get results like Tony has and some other guys in the group. We're going to post the link now. So you have to register for this event because there are limited spaces. There's only so many that we can hold in the Zoom. So it's all going to be done through Zoom. The last one we did in mid-February, we tried to be clever and do it part Facebook Live, part Zoom, and it didn't quite work out so well. So we've learned from our lessons with that one. Everything is going to be through Zoom. So even if you're a member of this group, click on that link. Even if you're a student, you can come along if you want to just get around this, because to have this information from this guy doing this sort of stuff is going to be magical. But if you're new and you don't know about this, I would recommend getting on and registering quick, because the students will be taking up the spaces. So get in quick if you're new to this and you have no idea, but you want to learn more. That's just my advice to you. Is there anything that you want to say about this, mate?
No, I mean, yeah, of course, students are welcome. You know, I'm going to be covering some of the things that they already have learned on the program, but always a pleasure to have them there with us. Yeah, I mean, it's going to last probably 60 minutes, and then we'll have like a 30-minute Q&A. Would be my sort of anticipation. And then anybody who's interested in joining our program, this is the last opportunity at the moment before the prices actually should reflect what they're actually receiving. So
the dreaded price increase. I know we've been saying it since mid-Feb, but that's on us.
Well, it's not. We don't want to increase the price, but it's just we can't sustain the program at this introduction price. So that's what it comes down to. So if you're serious about doing this is the time to do it. And we got some lives coming up in when's our next lives? May.
June. No, May. Yeah, you're right.
May. Yeah. So anybody who has joined, by the way, who hasn't had a live because you joined recently, you will be allowed to join us for those lives. So yes. I know there's people that have joined recently. So guys, reach out to us and we will let you know the date. So I know off the top of my head, Katerina's asked me about it recently, and there'll be others that have joined recently that haven't had their lives yet. So that will be in May.
We'll post the itinerary. So we've had to create an itinerary based on certain factors. And to be quite frank, we've been saying this before since mid-Feb. That's on us that we should have done this before sooner. But if you go to our website, the price is at the current price. So the price is going up after this masterclass. And that's not a scarcity close. That's not a fake sale and the price stays the same. 100%, I can guarantee you, if the price stays the same this time next week, this man will wear a West Ham shirt. And he's a diehard Liverpool fan.
And Ben, no coupons, mate. There used to be this thing called Ben coupons. No, they are expired.
That's how you know when it's true. Because if there's a chance of getting him in a West Ham shirt, mate, then I would love to take that, but it's not going to happen. So yeah, that is the honest truth. And so many people don't even realize that we do programs. So now's your chance to get involved. A lot of people are like, how do I get involved? Can I buy this? Can I do that? Now's your chance. If you want to get involved in cryptos and get on the tip of the spear and on the roller coaster, if you've got a fast personality, you like fast things, then crypto is for you. Click on the link. Ben's already added the link. Make sure to register, otherwise you won't be allowed to attend the event. Click on the link, register for the link, register for the event. Clear your calendar, 8:30 p.m. this Thursday. We're going to be there. More importantly, Andy's going to be there. Hopefully we'll see you there. Anything else you want to say whilst I'm just going to do a mad scramble to get some music set up?
No, I'm going to go and get a coffee now. Looking forward to it. First time of the day. Do you know what I've done? I've started to really not have one in the morning. I want to cut back because I love my coffee. But yeah, first thing in the morning, I'm used to just having a little espresso. No, I've cut that now. I have a green tea and then I have my coffee now. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing now.
What about those pink birthday bar protein bars that I was trying to talk about yesterday before my Wi-Fi cut out?
Is that what you were saying?
Yes. So
You
just
see,
a random.
no.
Me and Andy were on this
Mate,
call.
your Wi-Fi's going to cut off again, mate. Nobody
Me and Andy were on this call with our marketing team, and he rocks up with this pink bar, and we're like, "What are you eating?" You're like, "Yeah, it's called a birthday bar."
No, I didn't say that, did I? I said
You said it just
my
like that.
birthday cake bar.
Oh,
My
birthday
wife
cake.
bought them.
Birthday
my
cake
wife
bar.
bought them. But my wife bought all these birthday cake protein bars, so now I feel
For
bad
her.
to throw them away.
For her.
Yeah, but she doesn't want them. So I feel bad. It's like 2 boxes of them. So
hey, look, maybe can you turn up with a birthday cake bar on Thursday night?
I will. I'll be eating it. Yeah, no problem.
The first 10 to register get a birthday cake bar, courtesy of Andy. How about that? Priscilla,
Hold on.
another new name. Great to have you in the group. Great to see you on the live. That's a nice bar there. Okay, Priscilla. Didn't mean to offend you, but wow.
There's like at least another one of these boxes.
Wow, and we're not sponsored.
But when I'm really hungry and I'm in my office and I don't want to go downstairs, I'll just eat one.
Strategically placed, mate. Strategically placed.
Exactly.
So look, we are gonna be we're gonna be here. We're gonna be back 8:30 p.m. Thursday. Click on the link to register. You'll get a whole ton more of information. That's guaranteed. If you want to take it further, we'd love to have you with us getting some of the results of the other guys that you've been seeing in the group. If it's not for you right now, then fine. But if it is, then this is the place to be. So we will see you Thursday, 8:30 p.m., guys.
Bye,
I've
everyone.
done enough filling so that I've got the music ready now. Thanks for the birthday bars. That really helped. Wait, that's a good point. You're not doing affiliate marketing for birthday bar, are you, mate?
I could.